Hello, welcome to Mrs. Edwards Read Along. Today I'm going to be reading Cam Jansen and the Mystery of the Dinosaur Bones by David A. Adler. Your book might look like either one of these. What I'd like you to do is to start by opening up to page 1 of the book. Going past the title page and the dedication page, right to page 1, and it's going to look like this. And I think it looks the same in both books. Just like that. Okay? And I want you to take your finger and I want you to put it on the word slurp. Slurp! Cam Jansen was drinking milk through a straw. She tilted the container to get the last few drops. Cam was eating lunch in the cafeteria of the Kurt Daub Museum. She was there with her 5th grade class. Her friend, Eric Shelton, was sitting next to her. Cam pointed to the teacher. The teacher was standing on a chair with her finger over her mouth. Turn the page. Take a moment to look at the picture. You can see the teacher pointing, like putting her finger over her mouth. And then take your finger and put it right at the top of the page where it says, "Look." "Look," Cam said to Eric. "Mrs. Benson is waiting for us to be quiet." "Our tour will begin in 20 minutes, Miss Benson said. But first, I must ask those of you who brought cameras along to keep your cameras in their cases. The taking of photographs in the museum is not allowed." You'll find me right at the top of page 3. Ms. Benson got down from the chair. "See," Cam said to Eric, "I told you not to bring your camera. Last time I was here, someone was told to leave the museum because he was taking pictures." "Well," Eric said, "maybe I can't take pictures, but you can. Take a picture of me now with your mental camera." Cam's mental camera is her memory. She can take one look at the page in a book, close her eyes, and remember every word on the page. "It's easy for me," Cam often explained. "I have a photograph of the page stored in my brain. When I want to remember what I saw, I just look at the photograph." When people found out about Cam's amazing photographic memory, they stopped using her real name, Jennifer, and they started calling her the camera. Okay, turn the page. Take a moment to look at the picture. And then go ahead and put your finger right on the word soon on the top of page 4. Soon the camera was shortened to Cam. Cam looked straight at Eric and said, "Click." She always said click when she wanted to remember something. Cam says that click is the sound her mental camera makes when it takes a picture. "Close your eyes," Eric said. "Now, what do you remember?" Cam thought for a moment. Then she said, "There's a drop of mustard on your collar. You should wipe it off." Eric looked down. There was a drop of mustard on his collar. He took a napkin and wiped it off. "On the side of the milk container you just bought," Cam went on, "it says, 'Edna's, our cows send you their love and their milk.' You're wearing a blue shirt. The top button of your shirt once came off and someone sewed it back on." "You're right," Eric said. "But how did you know about the button?" Cam opened her eyes. "It's the thread," she said. "I remembered that the top button was sewn on with white thread." Getting ready to turn the page. There's just this word, the, and we'll turn the page. "Other buttons have light blue thread." Ms. Benson was standing on the chair again. She said to the class, "Clean your tables and then get into a double line." Cam and Eric quickly threw away their empty milk containers and the wrappings from their lunches. Then they got into line. Ms. Benson led the class up the stairs to the museum lobby. They were met there by a young woman in a purple dress. "I'm Janet Tyler," the woman in the purple dress said. "I will be your guide. Please stay together and follow me." The guide led the class to the air travel room. She pointed out the models of the earliest flying machines. There was a full-size model of the 1903 Wright Brothers airplane. Mrs. Tyler took the class to the weather station room with a solar energy exhibit. Then she led the class into a large room with a very high ceiling. Take a moment to look at the picture and then turn the page. "This next exhibit is my favorite," the guide told the class. "Mine too," whispered Cam. Whoops, I read it wrong. "Mine too," Cam whispered to Eric. And there we are. We're at the top of page 8 and the end of chapter 1. And that's all we'll be reading for today. What I'd really like you to do is to go back and see if you can read the chapter independently. Or follow along one more time by replaying the video. We're going to be discussing and answering questions about the text in school. Thank you for listening. See you at school. Bye-bye.